Hi guys, it's Emilio again, and this is week 5, the Paige story. Now this is a story that happened to me over the past year or so. Her name isn't actually Paige. We're just going to call her that to avoid any and all drama that would happen from using her real name, because that's probably a thing, alright? Now anyway, so about a year and a half ago, I met Paige in one of my classes. Alright, now she's really pretty. We got along really well. Just complaining together about history or whatever the teacher's music was. It was some weird Bollywood kind of deal. Anyway, so I just sitting in the history class, and I kind of had a crush on her, alright? Like, she's cute, she sat next to me, she talked to me. So we talked more, and by end of semester, which would be around December 2010, I got her number so that we could start texting and stuff over break, keep in touch, because that's what you gotta do when you're not mad enough to ask her out the first time. So I was texting her kind of a lot, and it's nice to have, it was nice to have a single pretty girl to text on a semi-regular basis, So when school came around again, we decided to get together and hang out. Now, here's the thing. This is our first time ever hanging out outside of school, alright? Meaning we don't have the sorry I was listening to the lecture excuse when it gets too quiet between us, So I was kind of afraid it would get awkward. But it didn't. It was weird. We ate lunch together at school, just went to the Panda Express or something, and then here's the cool part that happened. We were just sitting talking, and she's like, "Emilio, can I have some of your drink?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, of course. I'm not gonna be a dick, right? No, sorry, get your own drink. No, that's not me." So I handed her my cup, and she just, how when you usually hang out with people and they share a drink, if it's a bottle, they'll do this waterfall stuff, and if it's a cup with a lid and a straw, they'll do this thing, right? Well, she just went straight for the straw, and I'm like, whoa, okay, like, I didn't actually do that. I'm just like, inside I'm like, awesome, but really, I was like, okay, cool, like, that's, like, apparently that's a thing. Now, so that was like my first sign that Paige was kind of interested in me, and I'm like, cool, finally, something's happening, right? So a week or so later, and we're kind of sort of texting, and she's like, "Emilio, when are we gonna hang out again?" And to be honest, that's not how she sounds at all. I don't know why I did that voice. But anyway, so she's like, "Emilio, when are we gonna hang out again?" And to be honest, I was kind of busy with school and stuff. That's why I was not asking her out yet, because I wanted to have a free evening, proper thing. I don't have to say, "Oh, I have to do homework." I don't have to be stressed about anything or work, So anyway, I'm like, okay. This is my... So when she asked me that, I'm like, this is my chance. Girls never are into me like that. First, she gave me her number and it was real, and then there was a straw thing, and now she's asking me to hang out. That's not Emilio. Okay, that doesn't happen to me. Alright? And so I was like, so I asked her, so do you want to go to Disneyland sometime to hang out? And she's like, how are we gonna go? And I'm like, don't worry about it, I work there. And she's like, and one of the cutest things I've ever heard anyone say to, "Hi, I work at Disneyland." One of the cutest things I've ever heard from anyone. She looks at me and what I can only assume were bitter eyes, because it was on Facebook or text or something. And she's like, "Okay, that's how you're gonna get in. How am I gonna get in?" And I'm like, "Oh, Paige, don't worry, I work there. That means I get people in for free." And she's like mind blown, and she's like, "Okay, sure. When do we want to go?" So we set up a day, right? And fast forward to when we're hanging out at Disneyland, and it's awesome because it's our first time there in like 6 years. And I don't know if you guys are Disneyland regulars or what, but it's just completely different to go there with your family, to go there with your friends, to go there with little kids, to go there with people there for the first time, and to go there with people that haven't been there in so long. Because then they're like, "Oh my God, I remember this, I remember that," all that different stuff. And it was cool. Like, it wasn't, like, we actually hung out from, like, I picked her up at, like, 11:30, 12 o'clock, and we were hanging out till, like, 12:30 in the morning. Like, it was a pretty good hangout. Like, it wasn't weird or anything. And here's the thing, or here's a highlight. The highlight for me of the trip, anyway, was, like, okay, those Dole Whip things? It's like a pineapple kind of ice cream deal. It's like, the cup is like that, but the ice cream's like this. Anyway, I love those, right? So on our way out, we were walking past Adventureland, and there's a Dole Whip stand, no line. I'm like, "Oh my God, Paige, do you want to get..." I totally almost said her real name. I was like, "Oh my God, Paige, do you want to get a Dole Whip?" And she's like, "I've never had it before." And I'm like, "Really? I can get you one." And she's like, it's okay, I'll just share from you. I can just share from you. I'm like, okay, that's cool too. And correct me if I'm wrong, but sharing an ice cream, that's kind of a datey thing, right? Anyway, so I was like, all right, cool. So I got the Dole Whip. We shared it. It might have been one of the best Dole Whips I've ever tasted. Let's just be honest here, okay? And then after that, over the next few weeks, me and Paige go out together, just the two of us. We go to dinner, Frankenstein's, hang out at the mall, whatever. Just us hanging out together, right? And through that, we were actually in the phase of, you know, going out, which is great. She's pretty. We enjoyed each other's company. I paid for dinner whenever we went out or everything. She did a little bit of the check dance. Honestly, could have been better, but, like, I'm not going to complain. Like, it was cool. Then, one of the times we were hanging out, she mentioned she never got to play Pokemon Red. Right? Pokemon Red version, the original one. And, like, and if you know me, that's a pretty big part of my life, you know? Like, so, next time I see her, right, I found my old Game Boy SP in my closet or something, and my old Fire Red version, and I gave it to her, with the charger, and of course. But, that would suck without the charger. Oh my god, what an asshole would I be, right? But, so I gave her my Game Boy SP and Fire Red, just, like, not to keep forever or anything, right? But I figured, hey, we're going out, we're probably going to be hanging out a lot. But just so she could play it and have, like, all those same happy memories I had playing Pokemon Red. Like, she never had that feeling, you know, when, like, the Pokeball shakes, like, 3 times, and then you got it, and you're like, yes, I got Caterpie. Like, it's not even, like, an amazing game-breaking Pokemon, but just that sense of, like, yeah, I'm good. I did that, you know, and she never had that, so I thought it would be great. Anyway, so we were going out for, like, 2 months or so, right? And so at some point, I ask her if she wants to start, like, officially dating. She says she wants to think about, like, at that moment, she says, okay, I'll think about it, and I'll let you know. And I'm like, cool, that's not a no. I'm not gonna push that, all right? Because, you know, that's the usual response. So I wait a few days, and she asked me to go to her dorm so that we could talk about it. I'm like, sure, all right, I'll go down there. And I get there, and I'm like, so, I almost said her name again. Like, so Paige, what do you think or something, right? And she's like, yeah, I think we're just gonna, like, I think it'd be best if we just stayed friends. And I'm like, understandable, because, you know, that happens to me, so I'm like, okay, that's cool, it's fine. But really, you don't go for a guy's straw like that or share an ice cream with him if you're not interested in dating him. Does that make sense? Right? Unless you're, like, super close friends, like your best friend, I'm pretty sure that's, like, the only time you can do that without making someone think you're interested in them, you know? But, or we went out, like, for 2 months. There could have been any indicator, you know? Anyway, so, yeah, that's how that happened, and I was like, alright, that's cool, and I didn't want to, like, pressure her, because, you know, when a girl says, let's just be friends, she's really just saying, that's a nice way of saying, I don't really want to date you, you know, and that's totally fine. I understand, people have different tastes, okay? So I kept my distance from her, not because I didn't want to hang out with her, because I didn't want her to feel like she's obligated to hang out with me. Does that make sense? Yeah, so, anyway, so, like, that was, like, 8 months ago. I'm totally over it, you know, like, it's cool. It was just a thing I happened a while ago that was whatever. It was fun while. Anyway, so, I finally got around to talking to her again, right? And I asked for my Game Boy back, because I'm like, oh, fuck, that's where it is. I gave it to Paige, right? And so I talked to her, it's like, hey, can I get my Game Boy? And she's like, oh, I want to actually talk to you about something in person. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm at my friend's dorm, right, waiting for Paige to show up, because I'm going out to dinner with my other friend, and Paige was going to come over to talk to me, because apparently they know each other, right? So, Paige shows up, and I'm like, okay. I expected her to maybe apologize for what happened, because she never did. Not that, like, I'm a big guy, oh my god, people should apologize to me when they fuck up, but, like, hey, if you're going to say something like that, usually you build off of what happened last time with you guys, you know? So I look at her and I'm like, so, what's up? And she's like, sorry, I don't have your Game Boy or Fire Red or the I don't even think she knew it was Fire Red. I think she's like, I don't have your Game Boy, your game, or your charger. And I'm like, okay, so where is it? What happened to it? Like, maybe she left it somewhere. Or maybe she, like, let a little cousin play it a little bit and never got it back. And then she's like, I threw it away. So I'm like, alright, it's cool, don't worry about it. I never use it anyway, which is true. I mostly play on this. So, like, I don't even use that Game Boy anymore. But, yeah, I just shrugged it off like it's nothing, and it didn't hit me till later that night that, what the hell? She threw away my Game Boy? Like, that was a gift. You know, I thought that was a special thing, that I was like, hey, here are my great times as a childhood, let me share them with you. And she threw it away? The hell? Right? Is it just me, or is that just a little bit, like, fucked up, right? Like, she just threw it away. She could have called me and given it back. You know? That's a thing, alright? Now, it's basically what I learned with this whole page story is that some people just don't care. Alright? Like, it's not that they hate you or whatever, it's just, they just really don't care. It's like apathy at its best. Like, she just didn't care about my stuff, so she just threw it away. You know, and it's not good to let her think that I'm okay with that, which is exactly what I did. I'm planning on confronting her about it soon, okay? I know I should have really done that at the time, but, you know, whatever. That's the lesson of this week, is that, oh, what's my Game Boy, you know? So, anyway, for future reference, sometimes what's important to you, what's special between what you had with someone else, they might not value it the same way. They might think it's junk. And it sucks, but, like, there's not much you can do about it. You know, you can't go to somebody and say, hey, this is special between us. Why do you think it's... Like, okay, I guess you could do that, and that would actually probably be really satisfying. But, lesson here is, sometimes people just don't give a damn about what you had with them, or what you tried to do for them, and that's... I'm not going to say that's okay. It's really not, but that's life, and that's something we gotta live with, you know? Alright, well, that's pretty much it. That's what I'm gonna start calling the page story now, and that's week 5. See you guys next week then, I guess.